So welcome back to All Things the Podcast. In this episode, we're looking at why the Amazon community is panicking. Are we all going to have to get proper jobs now? And find out Gage's friend's new electricity hack. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back to All Things the Podcast. So I'm Ben, joined here by my merry men, Gage.
Hello.
And Harry.
Hello.
I'm definitely never introducing us like that again.
Yeah, that was really weird. Thanks, Ben.
But yeah, it's the end of January, time of recording, which only means one thing. It is, we're deep in tax season, so we're all considerably less wealthy than we were a few weeks ago, sadly. Have you guys got your self-assessments all done and dusted?
Yeah, I had mine done end of December. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it's first time I've had it done before January. My accountant was asking me to get it done in November, so it's still a month late for him. But yeah, a month early, really pleased. Well, not really pleased, but happy I'm not stressing about it like the previous years. What about you, Harry?
I did mine in July, which is a long time ago. But I'd obviously paid it this week. But yeah, I did it because then...
Wait, you did yours in July? That just processed me. July?
Yeah, but you know that you have to make a payment in July?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do it now, then I know how much I need to pay again in January or whatever.
Okay.
I was like, it's not that hard, really.
For those who don't know, if you're paying more than, I think, £3,000 in self-assessment tax, you have to do a payment on account in July, which is 50% of whatever you paid again. So if you owe $3,000, in January you actually have to pay 4.5, and then in July you have to pay another 1.5. It's a bit of a scam.
Yeah, it's all fun. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to know how much I had to pay. So yeah, did it in July and I paid it this week. Felt good to have it early. What about you, Ben? When did you...
I've had mine sorted in the last couple of weeks, so left it to the last
Really?
minute as always.
Last couple of weeks. That's much better than I would
Yeah,
have
so
expected.
it's the 31st of Jan, so literally the last day. There's lots of people in ATA panicking.
Yeah.
But it feels fun to not be one of them, actually. So
I've definitely been one of them in previous years.
yeah,
I've submitted on last day before, on the 31st. Yeah.
It is quite nerve wracking, isn't it?
I'm not even nervous. I think, they say it's £100 automatic fine, but I've definitely been late one year, and they just, because it was my first time, they didn't give me a fine. But
I mean, it must be an accountant's worst nightmare. They must dread this day because there's so many people
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to do myself.
Yeah.
it was good during COVID, actually, because they delayed the self-assessment by another month, didn't they? They made it 28th of February.
I think that's right. I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
So I hadn't done my self-assessment, and then I had another month, and I was really happy, and then I still left it to the last minute.
Yeah, no, I was trying to contact my accountant this morning. I was like chasing up on something that I messaged him earlier this week. He was like, oh, sorry, it's the last week of self-assessment. So like, oh, completely clueless. I'd already done mine. But yeah, it's probably the worst week of the year for them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm terrible. If you give me a deadline, it just means I will do it just before that. So I find it difficult to work if there's not that pressure, that time pressure. So yeah, when I was at school or uni or whatever, the smart teachers would give me a fake deadline to do it, to get stuff in before it actually needed to. Because otherwise, I would just do everything the night before. Cause need that pressure to actually perform.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's quite a few. You're relatively similar to that as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, for taxes, definitely, because no one likes doing their tax. I hate sitting down and working it out. Or, if your income's quite simple, then just giving it to the accountant's nice. But where I have income coming from many different places, I tend to have to do most of the work myself. And then sitting down and doing that, and then spending. It's like a 2-day activity on the fucking spreadsheet. And then because I'm sending the spreadsheet to my accountant, I have to label everything. I've got like the fucking highlighter out. It's a whole thing. I absolutely hate it. But I've done it so many times that I'm quite used to it.
Yeah. Self-assessments are only really bad if you're sole trader, I'd say, though.
Yeah.
Because if you're a limited company, it's fine because you don't have to worry about anything. It's only if you just take money out of the company.
Yeah.
But sole trader, I imagine that's an absolute nightmare.
So yeah, but all this tax being paid and still, but none of the potholes down my road have been fixed. Hopefully it goes into good hands. But there's been another scandal. Tax is a scandal, really, isn't it? But the Amazon community has been panicking for the last couple of weeks because of an email that was sent out from Amazon to sellers. I'm going to read it here. So, hello. Following the agreement reached recently with the Competition and Markets Authority, which covers the Amazon store in the UK, we will update the featured offer criteria in May 2024 for this store. As we strive to show our customers the best featured offer, also known as the buy box, on the product detail page, we'll continue to ensure that the criteria used to determine the featured offer are non-discriminatory and treat sellers and Amazon retail equally. Eligibility for Prime and the Prime badge won't be a criterion when determining the featured offer. Prime will continue to offer free and fast delivery, which are factors that customers value and therefore are relevant in determining the featured offer. So that is basically a long-winded way of saying, or some people interpreting, that FBM is now going to have no disadvantage over FBA. But what do you guys make of that?
I think it basically translates to business as usual, but we have to make to be seen to be doing something.
Yeah, so what's interesting about the email is like the final line of the email is like, oh, well, this is still a factor the customers will consider, which then they'll say some stupid like algorithm, people are choosing Prime more, so we're going to put them in the buy box. They'll just justify it a different way, I think. I cannot ever see FBM and FBA being treated equally on the buy box.
No, not at all. They do separate. They used to separate it out, didn't they? They gave an option. It's like you could buy here, but slower delivery.
They still do. It's just depending on how big the price gap is. If the price gap is very small, it will just show FBA. If the price gap is large enough, they'll split the buy box or just give it to FBA.
Maybe they might just do more of that. I don't know.
They might split it.
Yeah, which won't really have too much of an impact on sellers, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's whole USP is sign up for Prime and we'll get stuff to you same or next day, and that's never going to change, as otherwise they would lose their loyal customer base. So yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think around maybe 6-8 months ago a similar communication came out and everyone panicked again, and ultimately if you didn't see the communication you wouldn't have noticed that anything had changed. So it's just one of those things where whatever department sent this communication out felt like they needed something to do to avoid getting fired, probably.
They mentioned something about like all businesses being treated equally on there. In the US, they actually have special badges you can get on your seller account. So if you're a Black-owned business, you can get a shield next to your name that shows you're a Black-owned business, and I think it increases your chances of getting the buy box. So I wonder if that will be a thing where there'll be badges like small business badge, Black-owned business badge that they'll implement onto these.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do something. They have to be seen to doing something because they've been investigated for it.
Yeah, and they're already doing it.
I'm absolutely fucked then as a straight white male. I'm not going to get the buy box at all. Shit.
Just be queer, I think, is the solution. Questioning. In the US as well, FBM is much more popular in the US because of the lead times being so long when sending stuff into Amazon. So FBM actually dominates most of the buy boxes in the US. So maybe these changes are already in the US and it's actually just going to...
I guess because US is so vast geographically, they can't logistically deliver everything next day to everywhere. I mean, even in the UK, the buy box is to some extent based on location of the stock and location of where you're buying from. And if you change your delivery address on Amazon, it will sometimes show a different seller on the buy box. Because if you're down south, like if you're on the south coast, it's not going to show you a buy box of someone whose stock is up north because they're not going to be able to get it same or next day. It's going to be someone whose stock is at a down south fulfillment center. And I guess that's just amplified in US because it's so much bigger.
Yeah. It's like even there's like 6 or 7 states that are bigger than the UK. So you can only imagine that it's crazy that they can offer same day, next day delivery for some listings where there's not even that much stock on it. But yeah, that is pretty mental. We'll see, I guess. I don't think anything will change, really.
Yeah, I mean, but ultimately, it's Jeff Bezos' world and we're just living in it. So what Amazon will always make changes and we just have to adapt to them. And yeah, you can cry and moan about it, or you can just be the first to adapt and the first to take advantage of whatever the new playing field is. But there is obviously the chance that Amazon could just disappear overnight. Who knows with this new thing? And we might have to go and get real jobs. I mean, yeah, if Amazon was to disappear tomorrow, Gage, what job would you go
Try and get my old job at Savers back, probably. I did work there for a couple of days. that's the only thing I can put on my resume, realistically. I've got an Asda down the road. Maybe I can stack shelves. I reckon that'd be pretty chill. Yeah. What about you, Harry? What would you do for a living?
I don't know. Look at me like that. I don't know. It's a good question. I reckon I couldn't go back to a city job. I don't think. I reckon maybe a gardener. I reckon a gardener would be quite fun.
But then your back's doomed.
You'd do so many steps. You'd get a great workout in during the day.
I don't know. My friend used to be a landscape gardener, right? They'd go hard graft and then piss away every single cent at the pub after, every day without fail.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so getting stuck in that doesn't seem that great, but I don't know. Depends your definition of great.
What about you, Ben? What would you do?
God, I don't know. It's a pretty grim thought. I think it would have to be something that's where the pay is based on performance or commission based or something. I don't think I could ever go back to a flat salary, because that was what kind of made it as soon as I started Amazon, where the more time and effort I put onto Amazon and the more money I make on Amazon, the more money I personally make. Whereas, in a job on a flat salary, you can be the world's best employee, but you still get paid the same as the guy next to you who's doing the bare minimum. So, but hopefully, don't have to to make that decision.
You made a good point there, Ben. And actually, I think what really appeals to me if I had to get a job is where we work for ourselves, we're kind of always working. I feel like when you're in a job, most of the time, you finish at 5 and you stop thinking about the job, right? But I reckon I could get a really easy IT job in a local company, and no one knows what the IT guy's doing anyway. So I'd just be pissing about all day, just playing games. I feel like people wouldn't even realise. I would hardly work, get paid. Yeah.
Well, you could actually take this one step further. I've seen on Twitter a few people have done this. Is absolutely incredible. So IT guys, coders, like people who are in sort of developing roles, they'll just take 5 jobs at the same time and just get 5 salaries. They'll know that eventually they'll get sacked from one or all of them. But for a few months, they're absolutely balling, like taking home like 6-figure salaries times 5 or however many jobs they can get at the same time. And just only being available for an hour per day of each job.
And people don't know, because they ask you to do something, you just say, it's going to take about 10 days. And they just think, oh, right, that's fine. Meanwhile, you just ask fucking ChatGPT to do it, 20 minutes, you're done.
Yeah, I've seen a few Reddit stories of that. It's like people who create issues or they have projects and they're the only people in the company that can sort it. They're like, it's going to take ages, like months. Do it the night before, hand it in. It's like get paid like a ridiculous salary. Yeah.
I had a guy, a mentor client, who worked in a council in London, and he would take calls with me while he's meant to be at work, and I'd be like, surely someone's going to realise you're not doing anything. And he goes, oh yeah, well, the task for me to do is create this form for people to fill out, but the woman hasn't sent me the things I need to put on the form, so I can't do anything until that's done. I'm like, well, how long have you been waiting? He's like, about 2.5 weeks. So he hasn't done anything for the last 2.5 weeks because he's just waiting for the stuff on the form.
It's absolutely mental. That's where our tax is going.
It's all worth it. So make sure you pay your taxes.
Yeah.
But didn't you mentioned earlier this week a couple of the councils in Kent have been hacked, so you just can't get through to anyone?
Yes, 3 councils in Kent have had like a data breach or a hack, and I need to call up the council to fix something, and now they have an automated voice message that's like, we've been hacked, like we can't access any customer data. So I rang up last Monday and they were like, sorry, we've been hacked. Then I rang, she was like, call up tomorrow, we'll probably have it fixed. 10 days later, it's still down. Can you imagine the whole system is down? We're paying like £150 a month fucking council tax, and nothing works.
It's mental, isn't it?
And but before the automated message, it was just some poor lady on the end of it, and it was the same woman every time. So she was definitely just...
She may as well just set up a recording of herself and taken the day off.
I think it took 4 or 5 days for the automated recording to come, and she's just answering the phone. Can you imagine every time, sorry, the system's been hacked, and then people would get angry. People would love to get angry. I don't think it is a hack, though. Here's the conspiracy theory, is there's no way someone would want to hack the council. I think some guys just deleted the wrong file, corrupted the whole system, and it's just like, oh, we must have been hacked.
Yeah, it's probably about right, and they've probably been trying to recover it for a long period of time.
Yes.
Control Z. Fixes everything. But yeah, I could see you in kind of a coding role, because I remember when we first asked you to do some coding stuff for ATA, I was just like, oh yeah, this is going to take about 4 or 5 weeks. So pay by the hour. And then when you came on board as kind of, it was like, oh yeah, I could do this in 10 minutes. Like, it was like, but yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
For a period of time when I was just starting my Amazon, I thought, I'd supplement my income doing some freelance coding as well. So the reason I started being in our Amazon group ATA is as a freelance coder for Ben and Charlie. And always when I'm freelancing, the way I'll do it is I'll map out the problem, break it down into its components, and I'll put, okay, this is going to take me 20 minutes, this is going to take me 30 minutes, and whatever. And then I'll put like half of the time allocate extra for research, and then double it, and then times it by my hourly rate.
I thought it was just going to be stick a 0 on it, or 2 zeros.
No, just double it, and then probably times by 100.
Ben's just sitting there like, I got absolutely mugged off.
Yeah, but first by the tax man and now by Gage. But no, it's all good. But speaking of coding, exciting new videos soon to be on the channel, may even be out by the time this episode's released. Tell us more about that.
I just sat in Harry's seat for about half an hour sweating while I was going through my... going through the video. So what this video series is I had loads of people message me about they want to learn to code because it's the new year. Kind of every year people message me, I want to learn to code. How can I do it? So I thought, let's learn how to code by doing something that Amazon sellers want to do. So, let's dive into your Amazon data. We're going to use the Amazon Seller API to download all of your orders. We're going to work out your profits, ROIs, make a mini seller toolkit on a website. And that's going to be the video series. I'm really excited to get it all out.
So it's literally like work along with it and create it as you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Think of it like a textbook, but in video form.
It's very cool. Yeah.
Are you going to give it a go, Harry?
I might have to try and give it a go and step outside my box, because I don't step outside my box very often. So
it would make me happy beyond belief if just one person messaged me like, oh, Gage, I'm actually following along. I want to see you do it, Harry.
Okay. All right. Maybe you have to train me up to become an assassin at coding.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the videos are good enough to where
and then I can charge Ben double times 100.
Yeah. 2
that
zeros.
Is the going rate. Yeah. Well, so you've got a new trendy haircut as well, so you can see you're taking your new celeb status seriously.
I had to change my look after the whole McDonald's debacle.
Have people stopped recognizing you now?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, no. I went to my girlfriend's uncle owns a salon. So for Christmas, he got me a free haircut to the salon. So I went, and one of the hairdressers, she was like, oh, Gage, I saw you on TikTok. I was like, for fuck's sake. What was the video? And she was like, oh, it's something to do with getting free McDonald's. I'm like, oh, no. This is going to follow me around forever.
The only video that she's seen as well.
Fuck me, man. No, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. But yeah, new look, new me. I don't do that anymore. I think they fixed it anyway. Don't know how I know that though. Have you guys heard about the Lululemon story? Do you guys know what Lululemon is?
Yeah. It's like the gymwear brand.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. They sell like £150 leggings. I sell a lot of them in Amazon US actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They must cost like £2 to make.
Oh yeah. The guy is worth $4.6 billion.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
So yeah, you can see. But the guy, he's a bigot. So the reason he made the company called Lululemon is because he thought it'd be really funny to hear Chinese people try and say Lululemon.
No way.
Obviously, they find it quite difficult to pronounce L's. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was I actually have a story related to my grandmother. So my grandmother's like a small Chinese old lady. And when she was living in the UK, she lived here for about 2 years. We lived on Roman Road in Ramsgate.
Oh, no.
So she got in a taxi one day from the casino because she has a horrible gambling addiction. And she says, oh, I need to go to Lomond Road, Ramsgate, because she can't pronounce her R's. She fell asleep in the cab and she woke up like half an hour later in the middle of nowhere, probably on somewhere called Lowman Road, and then was like, where the fuck am I? Blah, blah, blah. Calls up my dad. My dad has to come and get her to bring her home because the taxi driver thought to take her to Lowman Road, Lambsgate.
That's unreal. So obviously this was before the days where you just get an Uber and pre-program it in.
Yeah. I mean, that we probably lived on the worst road in the entire country for a Chinese person.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I mean, yeah. Have you seen with Lululemon as well? You know, they get robbed all the time in America as well, and it's
have.
Up to a certain amount you can't be arrested for. Or,
Yeah. Have you seen this in San Francisco? They're really strange shoplifting laws.
What, you can shoplift up to a certain value?
Infinite ROI. Sell it on Amazon.
I think it's
So
something like
that's why
$400.
people make so much money selling on Amazon USA.
I think it's $400 you can get away with stealing before they'll arrest you. They'll just give you a ticket if it's under that.
Yeah.
So as long as you steal like just 3 pairs of these things, you cannot be arrested.
Is this financial advice, Gage?
Yes, if you're in San Francisco. Yeah. There was a documentary on it following these guys who were actually doing the stores, and they'll just break car windows, grab a bag, and they can't be arrested. They could do it in front of a police officer.
Don't the store workers get in trouble as well if they try to stop them?
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
illegal for them to try and stop them.
It's just so
baffling.
backward. Yeah.
So backwards.
It's a liberal heaven, San
Yeah.
Francisco.
It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
this is where you can't step on the pavements because there's so many homeless drug addicts.
Yes.
basically,
Yeah. Your kid gets off the bus and there's needles on the floor. That's the world we're living in at the moment.
Lovely.
Yeah. Sounds like a great brand.
Yeah.
Lets people rob them. Doesn't let people pronounce their name if they're from China.
Woo woo Raymond.
Yeah.
So how's everything been going on Amazon this week, guys?
Yeah, well, Returnuary is in, talking about not being able to pronounce it, Returnuary is in full flow, I think. Yeah, I'm glad that this is the last day. It's deadline day. It's been just hammered with returns.
Yeah.
But I found this year that I'm getting a lot of returns, but not actually a lot of products returned. So I'm just going to get a big check from Mr. Bezos tomorrow. From these products that just haven't been returned.
Have you ever opened a return on Amazon and then just not returned the product because you were too lazy within the window?
No, I
Really?
actually haven't. I'm not that type of person. No,
I've opened it with the full intention to return the item, and then it's like I've left it by the side of the door, and then 2 weeks later go, oh shit, I need to return a check. Oh, the deadline was yesterday. Oh, obviously that doesn't harm anyone, guys. Just before some people start typing, doesn't harm anyone, but
It harms the big corporation, Gage. Please stop discriminating.
I have done that before, and I can imagine ordering something at Christmas time, opening the return, going, oh, maybe I don't need that, and then just thinking, nah, fuck it, I won't return it.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on the value of the item as well. If I
Yeah.
buy something that's I'm not going to use it,
Tenner.
and then I can't be bothered to return that.
Yeah.
You may as well just leave it there.
When I was at my mum's, I lived like a 30-second walk from the every drop-off, so I had no excuse. But now I actually have to drive there. It's like,
too long.
I'm never going.
It's a lot of and based on your hourly rate, where you're adding zeros on left, right, and centre, it's not worth your time. It's just £1,000 return.
Yeah.
So you're off skiing.
Yes,
So by the
yeah.
time this is aired, you'll be probably in hospital with a broken leg.
Yes, with half a leg, and probably never coming back to the UK again. First time skiing. Maybe I might have to try and get a GoPro and film the content.
Where are
of
you
it.
going skiing?
I can't remember the name of the actual resort, but it's near Lyon. In France. But me and one of my friends, so I'm going with my girlfriend and some of her friends and my friends, and me and one other guy, we just never skied in our life before. So we're at ski school and probably with a load of kids. So it's going to be 2 6-foot-something blokes.
and a bunch of 4-year-olds.
Yeah, and probably a lot. There's been plenty of videos sent in of people who just go down the slope and just don't go weaving it out. It's going to be me just going straight down. No ability whatsoever.
Can we all pitch in to get him a GoPro? I think we go viral with that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you could make so much content with that over a week.
I think it would just be a GoPro of falling over a lot of times,
Yeah.
and then just sat at the bar with a pint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just the right arm going up and down.
But it's strange.
Oh no! Someone clip that.
Don't clip it. I'm left-handed.
But it is strange to learn. Like skiing seems to be something that people either know how to do when they come out the womb or they never do.
Yeah.
So like I've never done it and I'm far too clumsy to do it. But yeah, to learn how to do it in your 20s.
Yeah, I'm seriously clumsy, and I'm not the lightest of people either. So it's good. It's like a recipe for disaster.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. So probably in a cast in the next episode. Yeah, no, it should be good fun. Something different. Try something different. Get outside my box. Yeah, but we'll see. What about you guys? You guys going on holiday at all this year?
I'm going to Florida in March, which I'm looking forward to.
If he doesn't lose his passport.
Yes, I do have a tendency to lose these passports.
Which passport number are you on now?
I think so. So a couple of years ago, just after the world opened back up, I went to go away, and then it was literally the night before. It was like, oh shit, I haven't got my passport. Didn't have time to go and get an emergency one, so I was like, oh shit. So I pushed it out. This was just for a solo holiday to Turkey, I think. Pushed the date out and just rebooked it. Had to go to somewhere, Newport in Wales, I think. That's the passport office, literally for just a 2-second thing where it's like, oh, yep, you are. You say you are. Your passport will be with you in a couple of weeks. And then there was like a lads' holiday with one of the football teams that I played for a few months later. And then, a few days before, right, just get the passport out. I lost the replacement as well. Absolutely shocking.
And not only that, he had to drive them up to the airport.
He'd
already agreed to drive the lads up to the airport.
I'd managed to erase that from my memory. I'm reliving that trauma now again.
Oh, that was
and it was an early flight as well. I literally picked them up at 5:30 in the morning and literally drove to Heathrow, dropped them off, and then drove straight back. And the best part is, I forgot to pay the charge for waiting there, so then I got a 50 quid bill through the post as well, just to rub it in even more. So, but yeah, I now have my passport is in a very.
You need to
secure
build
location.
a safe in your house, which just to store your passport.
Forget the password.
I'd lose the safe. But yeah, I'm touch wood. Yeah, going to Florida in a few weeks. So
Florida's unreal as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, I love going places that are sunny when the weather's so crap here, because it can get pretty miserable throughout sort of the winter months.
But you're looking quite tanned now. So.
I know, yeah, we've got the orange mood lighting. Thanks, James.
What about you, Gage? You going on holiday this year?
I have a bit of a funny story. So I was going to go to Amsterdam like 2 weeks ago. Completely spontaneous. It was like Thursday, and I booked it for Friday.
All right.
Actually, maybe it was Wednesday. I booked it for Friday. It was very soon for me and my girlfriend. And then I checked her passport. She only had 2 months left, and you need 3 months. So I just booked everything. And then I had to cancel it all straight away, like 20 minutes after I just booked the hotel and the plane. But I got all my money back, so that's fine.
That's right.
So yeah, I have no plans to go on holiday yet. But maybe I'll do something spontaneous. Who knows if she ever bothers to renew her passport.
So, Gage, you've built a life that you don't need to vacation from. Oh my God, that's
yeah. Except if I want to go and do some stuff in Amsterdam.
what sort of stuff would one do in Amsterdam?
Probably just a bit of window shopping, looking at what to buy and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe solo trips better for that sort of stuff. How's everyone's ROIs been for January? Yeah, that's a good one to segue into.
Moving on.
69%?
Yeah. My UK ROI has taken a big hit in January, actually.
Mine's exactly the same as last month.
Really?
Yeah, which is, pleasing actually for January. But yeah, not too much for hit, just loads of returns.
Yeah. I think mine's 18%. Mine went down quite a lot. Because I was selling a lot of... I was selling a lot of Nintendo Switches. And as soon as it went after Christmas, people just started tanking that price. But interestingly, my US ROI has, I think, gone up by 2%. I think in the US, where there's so many more listings, you're a lot of the time on listings with not many other sellers, so there's no real reason to keep undercutting. Whereas in the UK, like every listing's got 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a trap to look out for in January as well, where There's certain things that, but for example, the Nintendo Switch sold really well throughout December, but then sales just fall off a cliff in January. But the estimated sales, if you don't know how to read the keeper graph properly, will still factor in those Christmas sales. So a lot of people are jumping onto listing. I'm seeing listings where the offer count's shooting up, and then the sales of just items are selling 2 or 3 times in January.
And they've got about 5 months worth of stock as well.
Yeah, so
that's where the problem comes, when you got too much stock, and then people start. Other people have too much stock, and then they start undercutting, panicking. Got my mortgage to pay. Got my credit card bill to pay.
got my tax bill to pay.
Yes, that actually could. That's a really bad time to have our self-assessment, isn't it? 31st of January. After Christmas, everyone just.
I've never actually thought of it like that.
Yeah,
some people might be undercutting heavy to get money out to pay their tax bills.
Yeah,
because it used to be to pay the credit card bill, like people who go too deep on A2As or whatever, were back in the days of unlimited accounts, because that was quite a common thing.
We had a joke in the sneaker community that the people that would sell the shoes straight away for a low price had to give their mummy back their money right after. Pay the mummy's credit card back.
This is pretty much the same case for Amazon sellers as well, isn't it? Yeah, people would come on, and it's all new sellers as well. New credit lines of credit. Oh, haven't sold it in 10 minutes. Need to get my money back. Yeah.
I have something related to the tax we were talking about. So I spoke to this guy from Canada yesterday, and he says, "Oh, I sell a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace," and I was like, "Oh, here, Facebook Marketplace is good, but it's sometimes a little bit dodgy." And then he goes, "Oh, yeah, but I do all of my transactions at the police station." So I'm like, "Oh, that's strange." So he will go, and they will assign an officer to watch over the transaction as it's happening for free. What do you think if I went to Margate police station and I went, "Oh, can you guys watch over my transaction?" I reckon they'd tell me to fuck off.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never asked. Maybe I should. What do you guys think would happen?
Well, it's the sort of thing, though, in the UK, it's the sort of thing they would actually dedicate about 5 police officers to. But if you said, "Oh, I've been burgled," they wouldn't get someone around for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I couldn't see that happening.
Yeah, I think they'd be busy attending to someone who's been misgendered on Twitter.
Yeah. Or just moving homeless people along. They love doing that.
I did actually see that. So there's a guy called Alhan. He's like a YouTuber. I don't know if you know him. He misgendered someone at Asda. He was like recording a YouTube video.
Asda, by the way.
Yeah, at Asda. I think it was on purpose. It was like called this woman sir. Like I'd like to take the piss. And 3 police officers turned up at his door, being like, "Oh, well, you've misgendered someone." It's like, well, yeah, you get burgled or someone gets stabbed. You can't get seen to someone in weeks. But no, you misgendered someone. You're there the next day. It's crazy.
Are we living in San Francisco or something?
Give it a few years.
That really happened. He misgendered someone and
yeah, he recorded it and put it on his Instagram story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what crime that falls under.
Oh, I haven't got a clue. Yeah.
I'm not sure it could fall under one, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Not advice or legal advice.
In Canada, that's actually illegal.
What is?
To misgender someone deliberately.
Really?
Yeah. They made it a crime. It like falls under assault. Whereas I don't think you can say anything verbally here that counts as assault, which is why I would be confused. But yeah, in Canada, it's a real thing.
So you just have to say you did it by accident if you're
Yeah. Or,
Case closed.
Or if you record it and put it on Instagram, that's probably enough evidence.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I suppose you'll find out if you go to your local Asda's and misgender someone behind the till.
Why does everything good happen in Asda? I remember seeing this video of this like 12-year-old going in there and like shouting abuse at staff, right? So this is like half the video. Then the next video is his dad like bringing him by his collar into the Asda.
I've seen that. Yeah.
He's like, "You little shit, you better apologise to them." And he's like, "I'm so sorry."
It's quite an old video, isn't it? Yeah, because they were on bikes. It was like 3 of them, giving it plenty.
I've not seen this. This is so. You guys just get different videos fed to you than me. I get stuff about back pain and erectile dysfunction.
Honestly, it's so funny because it's like typical youth of today, like giving it proper, like all speaking like chavs, and they're probably from relatively wealthy areas as well.
Upper middle class.
And her dad's cuts to the next video. It's a dad like just giving her a bollocking in front of this woman. Apologise to her. Yeah, no, it's really funny.
And that was outside an Asda.
Yeah. So it all does go down outside Asda's.
Yes.
Never seen anything like that happen in Sainsbury's, by the way.
Well, I suppose arguing with a security guard, maybe.
Yeah. Fuck. The haircut's really working, isn't it? Like, no one's ever gonna know.
I've never resold anything from Asda. Actually, I think I've done most other supermarkets.
I think during the COVID days, I bought like 2 fire pits from there. That's all I've ever done.
I've never bought something from Asda either. I've done Tesco, I've done Sainsbury's, I've
Same.
even done M&S.
Really? Oh, actually, I have too.
Yeah.
I have too. I used to buy the Percy Pig toys and then sell them at Easter.
Oh no, I didn't. I bought candles from M&S that are sold on Amazon, but yeah, never Asda.
Yeah, only 1 or 2 items, so not a lot. To be honest, I don't like RA as it is anyway.
I have a supermarket gripe. So Sainsbury's, my local Sainsbury's used to have free electric car charging. So obviously I would just rinse the living shit out of that. I remember I did a tweet where I think I paid like £160 for 8,000 miles. £160 for electricity, and I did 8,000 miles on it. Because I'm sad and I track all of this stuff, obviously.
I mean, that's how the staff get their Christmas parties. Terrible person.
And someone asked, "Oh, how the hell did you do that?" And I was just like, just parking Sainsbury's a lot, just charging for free, because I'll just park at Sainsbury's. I don't wait in the car. Not that sad. Then I'll go to the gym, which is like a 5-minute walk, and then I'll come back, and then I've got to charge.
That is pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, but they recently removed it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
They must have like a data sort of thing, just checking how much electricity is used at different Sainsbury's.
And then they replaced it with paid ones, and I'm absolutely outraged.
I think Gage is just being followed to track everything that he does, because now the McDonald's loop is closed, the Sainsbury's electricity loop's closed.
Oh, I have one more loop. I don't know, I should say it. Oh, should I just say it, guys? It's actually a really good one if you have an electric car.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Go on.
For now.
So if you have an electric car, or if you don't, you've probably seen these Pod Point chargers. They're at like many McDonald's and Tesco.
There's one of my David Lloyd, actually.
Yeah. So it's the green brand Pod Point, and there's a cheeky little trick you can do with them. So this only works when they're charging you. So let's say it's 50p a kilowatt. You have to have a minimum of £5 in your account just to plug in. So you top up with £5, but the charger doesn't know when you run out of money. So you can turn up with 1%, get like £30-40 worth of charge with £5 credit, and then your account just goes in the negative balance. So my friend has lots of accounts that have negative balance in them, and then you just sign out and you just he creates a new one.
Your friend is a menace to society.
Yeah.
Your friend is going to have bailiffs turning up at his door for about a few grand in years to come.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess, but you can never prove that he did it.
True.
Yeah. Unless you went on a podcast and talked about it. I don't think that one harms anyone though. What's the thoughts on that? Does that harm anyone?
Well, the Pod Point Christmas parties, mate. Your friend should think of those.
It doesn't really harm anyone, does it? I suppose.
Tesco's electricity bill through the roof.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they'll replace it with paid ones, and
yeah.
You have to
no, but they are paid ones anyway.
They'll have to change the way. It'll probably take debit card, won't it? And then it'll like take like a, so when you do go to like Sainsbury's or Tesco's and fill out petrol, they'll take like £100 as like a pending, and then like adjust it. That's what they should do. It's probably what they will do after people start.
Well, it's an easy fix. Just stop charging when your account balance is zero.
Yeah.
I think the guy who coded it didn't account for balances being negative. Oh, that reminded me of another one. So you can't.
Yeah, was this the same friend?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This guy's a real fucking menace. Okay, so what's really funny on the Pod Point app is the guy who coded it obviously wasn't anticipating for people to go below zero balance, right? So you need a minimum of £5 in your account to charge anyway. Even at a free charger, you still need £5. As soon as you drop below zero, you don't need the £5 anymore. Even if you're on minus 1p, you don't need any balance to charge.
Bloody hell. I don't get how they make these like bigger errors.
It's usually because they pay a company to make the app.
Right, okay. And they don't care.
Yeah, they're not the ones doing it. I'm sure they haven't realised because, like, I've only done this like my friend has only done this about 3 times. It's because I was getting free charge from Sainsbury's anyway, so I had no reason to pay £5 for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they know, and I don't think they care really.
Yeah, no. £5 for filling up your car or charging up your car is way too much money anyway.
Yeah.
Just get it for free.
I mean, Tesco isn't paying much for the electricity anyway. I got a new night rate for my house. Now I pay like 10p a kilowatt.
Oh, so you say it's car to charge overnight?
Yes.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, so now I don't have the free Sainsbury's. My electricity's next to nothing. It's like £10 to charge the car if I charge it at midnight from 0 to 100%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get that set up. I'm pretty sure I'm being scammed for my electricity.
Oh yeah, up until like last month, I've had a Lecky stick. You guys know what a Lecky stick is?
Oh yeah, because you can't get on. Yeah, for some reason you can't get a phone contract. You can't get electricity.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I forgot about the phone contract. Yeah. So I think there's like some stamp on my credit score because I got identity theft one time. So there's a stamp that's like, I need additional verification to apply for any credit or contracts or anything. My credit score is excellent, but I can't get a phone contract in my name. It just doesn't work. Like they just like, oh, you failed the credit check, and I'll show them. I got like 979 credit score, and they won't give me one. So got to go to the corner shop to top up my fucking electric, and I can't top up my electric with more than £80. Oh. Because otherwise, just put like 200 quid on it and just leave it. But I have to every £80.
It's a shame you can't just put £5 on it and then load up a negative balance.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's what your friend does.
Yeah, I'm sure. But last month they actually accepted me to get off the Lecky stick. So
really?
I now have a direct debit for my electric, and I can join the rest of society. It was funny, like when I was first trying to get it, I was like, oh yeah, I just moved in. I'm trying to, get off the Lecky stick. This must be a southern term, right? Lecky stick.
I've never.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just slightly too.
It's like a USB that holds your money that for the electric.
I've never heard of that.
Watford's basically up north.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, north of London, so it's north to you.
Yep, that's always what I say. The woman was like, oh, because you just moved in, I think probably because your credit score's bad because of your mortgage. I was like, oh, I don't have a mortgage. And she was like, oh, I don't know then. Yep. Wow. And for 2 years, I couldn't get a direct debit. I had to keep going to the corner store.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, that is funny.
Many times I've run out of electricity in the house.
So does everything just switch off?
Yeah. They give you like an emergency of like £1.50 that you can go into debt.
It's not going to last very long at all, is it?
No, it's certainly not the pod point.
Yeah, so if you have a blackout in the middle of an ATA call, then at least we know why.
Yeah, well, it's direct debit now, so kind of a big deal. They gave me a contract. Yeah, no problem.
Now you're just showing off now. Shall we wrap things up there?
Yeah.
Cool. We're all off to Pod Point now. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next episode.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.